Hello everyone, welcome to Art House Asia. This is the fifth edition of our festival and we are at the last day and the eighth day. We are live from our projector room. You can see the Artlight projector is 70 plus year old and we are very proud to have Drishya with us. Drishya is the director of B.Selvi and Daughters, the short film which is part of our international short competition and it's in competition because the results are not out. So, Drisha, let us start from uh, very basic question. That is that how this project started. What I know from the film and the logos that it was part of an initiative. So tell us more about that because it's very important.
Yes, sure. Firstly, thank you, Shapat. Thank you for having us at the festival. I think it's a huge excitement for us to be a part of Art House Asia because I think despite everything else, going outside, going to Melbourne and all of that, it is really nice to have it play. Firstly, our first physical screening in India. And secondly, I think your festival is very special. It's beautifully curated every year, and everyone who attends, I think, will agree that it's a special festival to be a part of. So we were really, really thrilled, even though our other films have been there. Our small short film being at your festival, we were super happy. So thank you for that, firstly. About the film, yes. So the program that it was a part of is GIZ's Her and Now initiative. So it's actually an incubator that's working across 4 cities in India. That actually encourages women to apply with their small businesses, and they get advice, they get incubation to actually launch their businesses into motion. GIZ also wanted to fund a few films that go along with their philosophy as well. So it was really nice that they didn't want to just do a media campaign or just do PSAs, but they wanted to invest in artistic film because they believe that film is the best medium to actually be able to communicate to an audience who might actually be that. They might be women who are sitting on the fence and thinking, can I do this? Can I really, could I be an entrepreneur? Could I start a business or join a small business? As well as families around them. They were finding that the biggest roadblock is not only, financial or practical roadblocks, but how people are approaching women who take such big risks. So people in their family, what their husbands think, what their fathers think. So it was a nice opportunity for us because we were working on this film anyway, and we were working on it as a feature film. But then we saw this grant open call around the same time that I was working on the first draft of the script. So it matched really well because along with the artistic intent of the film, I really thought that the impact that it could create with GIC's program was very exciting to me. So they want to actually, and they are through the course of this year, playing it for small groups of women around tier 2, tier 3. Now, because of COVID, it's a little less, and hopefully in 2021, we'll get more, we'll be able to do more physical screenings. But so one part of this film is actually to have impact on women who might, use like take inspiration from this and actually do something with their lives. So I think that's the really special part about the inception of the film.
So, if I got it correctly, that you're already working on a story based on female entrepreneur.
Yes. I was working on Selvi's story, and in a more sort of in a bigger scale, and in a more actually a little bit of a more commercial sense also. As you know, a very beginning, middle, end kind of story. So what this did was, because I saw the grant and it was for a short film, I decided that instead of an entrepreneurship story that was about grand failure and success, I'll use the short form medium to talk about Selvi's own state of mind and how she has to kind of overcome that, because I have 10-20 minutes and what do I concentrate on. So I just kind of delved into Selvi's story and her psyche as the thing. So there still is a bigger story of how she actually started the business. How does she fail and then succeed? Like in the film, this is just it's one day, right? It's one challenge that she faces, but I just wanted to explore what she goes through in that a very difficult day, being an older entrepreneur, being a female entrepreneur, just being an entrepreneur. So yeah.
Yes, and uh, like when I first heard about the film, and the titles like struck me well, because like we are so used to see this like this company names that like someone and sons, someone and sons. So Tata Sons, like with I think the
Yes.
biggest Sons company, and
Yeah.
then we saw a film. It is named like this, so I feel it is like it's so inspiring and refreshing in terms of when we are looking at a new content and what they are trying to do. It's the content is so much empowering to the woman, and who wants to be self-independent and who wants to run their own business. So like when you start were working for the maybe the longer script, was the title same, or it was how you like came to this title?
That's actually a good question. I haven't thought about this in a while because obviously the name has become so such a big part of the project. It wasn't the original title. We had a very working title. It wasn't. I knew it was not going to be the final thing, but this title actually happened, like I was saying, when I was shifting from thinking about the feature to the short film, and I knew it was only going to be about this small hiccup in her journey and just about establishing that Selvi can do this, and then her daughter in the film is also playing a very important part as the catalyst of the film and a support system for her, but never hand holding her and pushing her to the other side. So this both Selvi's journey and the mother daughter thing was really important to me. I think if I had to like pick a few important things for the short film, and then this title actually came up because I've actually thought this when I was a kid. I was a very curious kid. So I used to do this thing where we were going in the car and all that. I keep asking my parents doubts. Why is this like this? Why is it like that? And I've actually asked this before. And because I was, this is the thing. Before the patriarchy hits you and you're a curious kid, you don't understand it. I'll ask my dad, no, why is it this thing and sons? Why nobody names it something and daughters? And in fact, even in fourth standard, I had this revelation. I said, why is my name Disha Gautam? Gautam is my dad's name, right? In South India, we take the dad's name. So I said, why is it your name, Pa? And he said, I mean, if you want it, he was joking. He said, if you like Amma better, you want to take her name. So that year, I actually changed all of my labels in school to Drisha Padma. Padma is my mom's name. And I was like, I mean, I had no idea that it was feminist or whatever. I was just like, why can't it be my mom? And similarly, I said, why is it not and daughters? And you're so right, because it is so ingrained in our psyche to see, Bahari Sons is such a huge thing in Delhi. And it's just such a part of our, especially Indian, it's almost part of the aesthetic also. So I just thought that it would be really catchy if I kind of, explore that side of things. So it's actually symbolic. It's not really that, some people have gone into the details of, oh, why is it and daughters? She has only one daughter. And that's not how it is. That's the whole thing, right? It's not like you name it something and sons because you have three sons who are surely going to take over. It's the it's the continuing patriarchal thing, right? So it's just a small symbolic challenge of that, and I just thought it was like a fun take on it. And we actually, funnily enough, we did debate the title in the beginning because now it sounds catchy, I guess, because we keep saying it over and over again. But when it first came up, there was a bit of doubt. Like, I don't know if people will get the title, but I somehow liked it from the beginning, so I just kind of stuck to it.
Yeah, and and another thing is that um, the when how so let me go into the cinema actually. I was so much moved with you talking about the thing. Like I almost forget the next question. So like the when we are watching the cinema, I think it's a smart film. It's addressed directly to the issues which the film is, I think, titled to talk about. And um, so, like, how did you find those characters? Those characters are everywhere. I think, like, in every girl's life, there is those characters that, like, who will come and say, "Ki, can you do it really, can you do it like so like was it also your kind of a personal experience like this or you are fortunate enough to not to face this kind of behavior?
That's a good question. I think definitely I'm more fortunate than average. But at the same time, I think that in my, let's say this, let's put it this way, I have a very nuclear family. So because of that, because my parents are very progressive, I maybe don't have the uncle, like how I've written in the film, but everyone does. In the sense, he exists, but he's not that influential in my life. So I don't get that affected by it because I don't have to go for too many family functions. I don't have to hang around. I don't have a joint family, But I know very well from my friends and everything that, and especially all the girls reading the script. So as you must know that also our crew itself was around 80% women actually in the crew, and we made it specific that we would do that. So, and I think more than it, yeah, it's not just, it wasn't some, oh, this is some idealistic activist thing. It was actually because if you are making this film, and Shapat, I know you'll agree, the birth of a film is a sum total of everybody who works on it. This is not like art where I'm just sitting, I'm the director. No, not at all. I do like 20% of it. And so we really believe that the more people whose experience resonates with the actual film and the main characters and Selvi and Kavi, the more perspective on it we'll get that is unique. Because if I sit with a regular crew, which is going to be 90% male crew, might be technically great. They might be even a little better technically and everything. But what is film? But if it's not perspective, right? What is it if it's not adding your own personal view to it and lens to it? So to that effect, it was really important for me to have a female DOP, especially even the other departments. I said, okay, we can talk about it. But DOP, I thought, because the lens of the film is really important. So we had all of these women, coming back to your question, who immediately were like, oh, this is just like my uncle, this is just like my dad, this is my grandfather's brother. Like everyone had that reference because it is the most relatable thing actually to have that one. And usually it ends up being an uncle, like somebody a little removed, where you're like, why do you have so much of an opinion on my life? Which is the general, the general thing. Even if your own parents or your own partners are more accepting, you always have that. Basically, it's like symbolic. Like the patriarchy is always kind of hanging around and trying to force their opinion on you. But in the Indian system, it's really tough. Like the reason I in this case made it Selvi's brother is because I think we often talk about partners not being supportive, husbands being, rude and all of that. But we don't talk about how family can actually be really, and even after you've gotten married, and Selvi is, I mean, in her 50s, why should she have to listen to her younger brother, right? But we don't talk about the fact that family is so highly regarded in India that they're just, their opinion could matter a lot. It's not only about, we've gone past that phase where it's only about forcing a woman to stay at home, or it's a more extreme form of abuse and saying you can't do this, you can't do that. Now it's become more subtle. It's become so deeply ingrained to their opinions are always in your ear. It's like that. So I wanted to create that kind of a character who would weigh on Selvi's idea of herself, rather than being outrightly saying, no, you can't do this, or come in their way. So I think that worked out well because everybody was like, this is like someone in my family. And for me, to answer the second part of your question, I do have strong references. I'll tell you where, mainly from the corporate world, from sitting in a room full of men, and leave corporate world, even in the film world, a lot of the time I'm either the only or the only other woman in the room. And it's the subtle forms of the discrimination which I'm very interested to explore, because it's about when you don't hear the other person talk, or you're cutting them off, or you're mansplaining and explaining, talking down to them. So in the lunch scene, that's what I wanted to explore, how he's not even kind of looking at Kavi when he's just asking her questions, and he's just assuming that he knows everything. It's just generally how we interact with a lot of men in our lives. So yeah, that's where it came from.
I didn't know that it's kind of 80% female crew in this film, and
Yes.
congratulations on that. Like I feel that uh, maybe if 80% or 100% female crew is working on a film, maybe people can say that okay, like the film is not that good quality, well crafted, but it's just a matter of time. Like maybe if they continue to do so
Yeah.
for 3 to 5 years, and then like on that from that 5 years onwards, every film will be well crafted. So like
Yes.
it's just a matter of time because people are not giving chances to
Yes.
and also like DOP or sound recorders. They like if they are women. Like I heard people saying that can she like handle the camera? Like can she take the weight? Or like
Yeah.
will it
Yeah.
be possible for her to like just hold the boom for so long hours? And like so these are the very cliches which like we see in our surroundings, and I feel like it's a good initiative, and I think I will suggest that if possible continue with this team and make it 100%. Like, and
Yeah.
that will be that will be something which which collectively we all want to achieve. And definitely and another thing is that like again like coming back to the film, I the Selvi and her daughter. How did you find Selvi, the character? Like that how this actor you find, because she's so flawless. And I that I remember that scene that when like she's going to a I think a government office for
Hmm.
like for
Right.
yeah, and so yes, yeah, bank, and and how she's persistent about like loans and these things,
Yeah.
and that particular scene, that all other scenes there are like conversation, and in front of her someone who is putting a earphone on the on their ear, and totally ignoring her, and how she gave these expressions. I feel it's really special, and
Yeah.
definitely her daughter. So like what was the casting process for this film? Do you
Yeah.
know them already? Have you worked with them before? Or
So, Kalairani ma'am, who plays Selvi, is a veteran theatre artist in Chennai. So she's brilliant. She's too good, and the Tamil audience will know her, will recognize her as the mother character in many important Tamil films, like Blockbuster. She's played, all the hit star Ajit's mom. She's played everything. So and but on the side, she also like for instance recently with Surarai Potra, which is Surya's latest hit film. She actually trained the actress who's she's a young actress. So she does a lot of theater training for actresses who are entering the field and everything. So people will know her from the fringes. So I don't know if you know this, but we actually, Stray Factory in itself, we have our history in theater actually in Chennai. So we started as a theater company, and I mean, I joined a little later, but the way I even know Mati, the founder, is by doing theater all my life. So I knew for a fact, like even when I took this decision to start directing, like I'm a writer primarily. So this was my experiment going into filmmaking, saying, okay, can I do it? What is there for me? Is it interesting? Will I be good at it? And my approach is not technical because I did not go to film school. My approach comes from understanding the arts through theater and through consuming and through writing, right? And the main thing I was going to concentrate on was performance. Like I knew that that's the one thing I can do because I have been an actor, I have been a performer, and I have directed in theater. So I was going to concentrate on that. So casting was like the most important thing for us. So with casting Kalai ma'am, actually the thing is we were Selvi could have been a little younger also. And but we actually, which is why maybe Kalai ma'am also, we were thinking like, okay, do we want to really go to that extent? Then we even the casting of her daughter be adequately, the age has to be appropriate also. We were thinking of her a lot younger, college, just out of college, that kind of thing. So but we just realized that the actor having and if it is a bigger actor also, where you know that this person is a star, and they have conquered their kind of demons in life, then part of the suspension of disbelief is gone. You have such a confident person in the role of Selvi, who's struggling to gain her confidence. So we just knew that with Kalairani there was no. It was like a blank canvas, and she is known for, in these Tamil movies that she does, they always, the role of the mother is this melodramatic, it's very similar to any Hindi movies, or I mean all of our Indian movies, right? So they just have this hero's mom character, and she comes and she has to cry, or she has to laugh, and she does it brilliantly. But anyone from theater knows that she has a lot more than that to give, that they are not really, we would love to see something which is written for her, where she is a character of her own. So it was a part of, in fact, our strategy and our, the proposal of building this film, that we will cast somebody where we're reimagining this mom, hero's mom trope also. So Kalai ma'am, we thought, was a perfect choice for that, because she's basically known as a character artist. And why should she? Because she's a brilliant actor, and she should get a main role of her own, So I'm actually, if one of the things I can say that I'm proud about with the film is that she has got the recognition that she deserves with this film. In the fraternity also, the response of seeing her in this way has been so heartwarming for her and for me, because I feel proud that, okay, she was able to have this role to do this. And she knocked it out of the park. I maybe have told her 4 or 5 things in the entire film. She was Selvi from day one. And with Kavi's character, who's played by Gayatri Shankar, she also, I watched in Super Deluxe most recently. So I don't know if you'll recognize it from watching Super Deluxe. So she plays Vijay Sethupathiy's wife. She plays the Shilpa character's wife in Super Deluxe. But her complete look is like really different. And Gayatri is the kind of person who completely slips into the character. She's a director's actor. So in that film, you won't even recognize her from between this film and that film. But I just saw some quality in her that is rare actually in what I was thinking was a lot of young actresses in that range. If I want to cast a Kavi who's a mainstream Tamil actor, then there are a lot of very, very nice looking, good looking, very glamorous, that kind of approach of actors. But it's hard to find someone who has the popularity also, but has the depth and the gravitas of someone who's, an honest actor, a deeper actor. And with Gayatri, like, I just knew that there was something else there. Like there was some depth behind her eyes. And I just kind of, I didn't know them. We knew Kalai ma'am, of course, but I didn't know Gayatri before, and I sort of just approached her and said that this is the case, and I sent her the script. And in fact, the funny story there is that we met for a reading, which I thought that we'll do a reading, but ended up just having a long chat about all our experiences related to the film. My mom was like this, and I went through this in school, and I just knew that we don't even have to do the reading. We'll see it on set. Like, I'm sure you got it, and she nailed it. And these two they started for 4 days. We shot. They acted like mom and daughter throughout the shoot. They were just like completely, yeah. Chemistry was amazing.
Like they were flawless, and I think like um, I cannot I cannot imagine now, like if you ever make a longer film that anyone else as Selfie,
Yeah.
and because like she was so much like, such a powerful and smooth, I will say smooth experience where the things are and the emotions are so flawless. So Risha, like we will conclude on this thing with a like general question which I was asking up a couple of short filmmakers, that like, do you think that short film is a stepping stone to feature film, or and so sorry, and that you like, or you want to make short films again, or you just now with this like the successful venture, when you know that from writer you have successfully translated or like positioned yourself as director, so now um uh, like uh, so now you will also be the like what is it called, like feature film director now than a short film director.
Yeah.
So what is that?
It's a great question because I actually feel that I feel like that's the assumption in India that a lot of young filmmakers make short films as the gateway, right? They want to, which I think is commercially it makes sense. You're showing, it's like your proof of concept. You're showing what you can do. You're showing what kind of stories you want to do. But I do think that I feel like it's a different medium altogether, and it's really important to explore it as a medium of its own, is what I believe. Like, I was not planning to do this as a short film, but when we knew that that was what it was going to be, then we had to change our mindset. It took me a while, by the way. We have this running gag in our crew where I say in the feature film, and I start my sentence. I say in the feature film it was like that, in the feature script it was like that. So for the short, and then they started making fun of me, my team, because they were like, you need to let go of that film, because I tried to get all the details in. Oh, I wanted this scene, I wanted her to react like this. They were just like, throw it out, because you have to tune that this is a new format, and this is a, what do you want to explore here. And I feel like there's a lot that you can explore in shorts that you can't with features. So to answer your question in a short way, I don't think it should be a gateway. Commercially it makes sense. If I was making this film, then now I have a better chance definitely of making Selvi as a feature. But I think artistically, if you look at it, I would think that you should look at it as two different medium, and there's so many possibilities with what you can do with a shot, where you don't have to, you're not constrained by so many practicalities of a feature film. And I think you should just have fun and have a more even stronger voice when you're exploring shots. So that I'm hoping that right now I feel like there is a bit of a change. There is a little more of a market for shorts in India. And I actually hope that this encourages a lot of young filmmakers like me to just try out, just go there, experiment, do your thing, see, fail, and then try again. So I do think that it's a different ball game, but I don't think there's anything wrong to move to feature as well. That's obviously always, part of the dream. So
Okay, okay. It was like really inspiring talking to you, and like I all the best uh, for the next films. It can be feature or short, and
yeah.
like, yeah, absolutely, and we'll look forward to that and all our audience. And thank you, Risha. Thank you for
Thank you so much,
trusting
Shobha.
us and giving the film to Art House Asia. And we are very proud to screen it, and I think more people will be inspired through this film in the coming years. Thank you.
Let's Thank you so much, Shobha.
Thank you. So we are ending it. Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye.